Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This episode is called Expired Ilford HP5 Plus, 87 years of a turbulent history. I bought this roll a couple of months ago in a closing second-hand shop for photography, and I have no idea how long the roll is expired because I bought it just outside of the box and it has no expiration date on the cassette. I have also no idea what are the storage conditions. I'm just hoping that it has been fairly okay stored and that we can make some pictures with it. Well, as I said, I have no idea what were the storage conditions and the expiration date, so I will overexpose one-stop this roll, and I will use my Canon EOS 300 with the Canon 50mm 1.8 and maybe also the Pentacon 29mm 2.8. Following the last episode on expired color film, click on the description on the link in case you want to watch it. Today we are shooting a roll of expired black and white film. As stated on the last episode, the consequences of shooting expired film are, and in this case we are only looking at black and white film, variation of contrast, more grain, and fog. Black and white film is also in general more resistant to these changements, and if stored properly it might be that it doesn't even show any changements at all. Founded by Alfred Youth Harman as Britannia Works Company in 1879, it changed its name to Ilford Limited in honor of the town where it was located. Later in 1920, a merge between Ilford Limited, Imperial Tri-Plat Company, Gem Tri-Plat Company and a consortium of 7 other companies founded the Amalgamated Photographic Manufacturers that ended up in the construction of the Sale factory in Brentwood. In 1959, Imperial Chemical Industries acquired Ilford, and 4 years later, the Swiss company Ciba AG began to acquire shares of Ilford, and by 1969, Ciba AG owned all shares of Ilford. 20 years passed by, and Ciba decided to sell Ilford to an international paper company that also owned Anitech, an arts materials manufacturer. On the next year, the two companies merged and became Ilford Anitech. Still, that was not the last change, as in 1997 Ilford Anitech was sold to Dottie Hansen and Company and rebranded Ilford Imaging Limited. On August 2004, Ilford Imaging Limited filed for bankruptcy when £40 million in debt. As a result, the Harman Technology Limited was formed and named in honor of its founder. In 2007, Harman Technology Limited acquired Kentmere, a photographic paper manufacturer, and introduced some films under the Kentmere brand, mostly cheap black and white films aimed to the photography students market. And last but not least, Harman Technologies Limited was acquired by Pemberstone Ventures Limited. And we are glad it did so, as the world of photography would not be the same without Ilford films. HP5 Plus 400 has a long history that can be traced as far back as 1931 as hypersensitive panchromatic plates, HP, that's where the name comes from. 4 years later, Ilford introduced a 35mm version of the hypersensitive panchromatic plates at 160 ASA. And for those who got the catch, the answer is yes. HP line precedes Kodak Tri-X by 9 years, its greatest rival and commonly referred to be a copy and cheaper version of. This is a clear case where companies made bad decisions on how to manage their brands. It is ridiculous to consider the HP line to be a copy of the Tri-X film, as it's even older. Okay, we can also not argue that the HP5 Plus is actually the same film and emulsion as in 1931, because it actually was only introduced in 1989, but so did Tri-X, with a huge difference. Kodak always remained faithful to its Tri-X brand, even when it underwent changements. How to shoot and develop expired negative film? Well, for me, I overexpose one stop for every decade that the film has been expired, and then I just develop normally.
Well, as for the results of this roll, I think they were quite grainy and there is some visible fog in some of the pictures. I think this is due to the poor storage conditions, or maybe even to underexposing of the film. I have no idea how the film was stored all these years, or even how long it has been expired. I overexposed one stop, so I assumed about 10 years expired. I think it's maybe closer to 20 years expired, and I also believe the storage conditions were not that good.